like happened, it's over with, right? That's like an old subject. Pushing forward, what do y'all want to talk about? Ask us some questions. We could talk about things, but we go off on tangents sometimes.
We do. That does happen.
Indeed, it does.
Especially especially last night when Elsa was tired. That happened a lot. We had a lot of tangents because I kept getting distracted real easy.
And then today should be running a little bit smoother. Can anybody. Well, see, that worries me now. Can anybody talk in live questions? If somebody can talk, somebody could run over there and see if everything works fine with that. That'd be great.
We had a lot of problems with it last night, and there was bits and pieces that weren't working. So if someone could just pop over there and leave a smile face or something, that would be amazing. People.
Oh, somebody's up here.
You are muted. You need to unmute yourself, my dear.
There you go. Hello, Elsa, Debbie. Where was it we were supposed to leave some kind of heart or something?
In the live question channel.
Okay. Thank you.
So
you have a question while you're up?
Yeah, so how's your game
I
going?
forgot it.
Well, let us ask you a question.
Sure.
What does your Pro look like? Tell us all about your Pro. What's going on with it?
What's the Pro?
Your Pro March. I'm
really new, so when you use words like that, you confuse me. What is a Pro?
That is your first March in the top of the list. The most important March. The one that has all the buffs and bonuses from your class.
I don't think I'm following, so I'll let someone else do that. I'm on my phone. I don't see anything.
You have 4 March units in your hill if you are level 18 plus. The one that's at the top of the list is called your Pro March, and then you have March 1, 2, and 3. March 1 is the one you are gifted with right at the start of the game, and then once I think it's level 7 or 10 is when you unlock the class features, and that's when you get your Pro March. Your Pro March has all of the bonuses attached from your class, whether that's Collector, Invader, or Developer.
Okay, I'm Collector.
So your Pro March, you would have hopefully some Omnivores in there, perhaps, for doing extra collecting. Good health.
Yes, actually, I collect right up until I can't catch anything anymore, and then I put them into collecting just before UTC switches over, so that I get the bonus on the next time.
Yeah. Good gathering.
I read that. I think I may have got that from Stabby.
And that's what's up.
Very nice.
If you follow the gathering guides.
There you go.
Because you got to grow stronger to stab everyone.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You really grow slow when you're a collector. I mean, really slow.
Not necessarily. It depends on how aggressive your collecting is, because collectors can actually farm and raid other people better than invaders can.
You can actually do that?
You don't get the troop load bonus for attacks, and you also can't harvest honey from people unless you're an invader. But the bonuses that your omnivores have as a collector actually bode very well for collecting from other people's hills.
Other people's hills. So now on one of the servers I am, there is a rule. There's no jumping other people's resources.
You're not allowed to port their hill, I suppose. You're not allowed to hit them enough times that they actually move away by themselves.
You know, I've never done it because I just follow the rules. They say don't do it, I don't.
I'm not good at following rules.
Yeah, that's
I don't want anybody upset.
I avoid servers with rules so that I don't upset people. That's
Well,
how I
if
do
they're
it.
not in, you know what? It's a good point. If they are not in a an alliance, then I guess I'm not going to piss anybody off.
Yeah.
Anyone who has asked
Okay.
their name on stage, have them DM me.
Thank you.
Have her DM me.
Enjoy your day
Next
or
person.
evening.
Leanna, if you
Thank
would,
you.
pretty please, anybody, this goes for everybody. If anybody comes up onto stage and talks, if you would, pretty please, with sugar on top, send Duvessa a DM and let her know your in-game ID.
Bunnybot 3000.
And
Who?
Duvessa. So in live questions, I'm going to tag her so you could see whom she. Oh, Bunnybot. That's right.
Her
I
name's
forgot.
Bunnybot 3000 at the moment. Yeah.
I forgot. My bad. I forgot her name changed.
I will look for that. Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. And then
Okie
another one. Mr.
dokie.
Phantom.
Yep.
You need to accept the invite, Phantom, and then you'll be able to come up on stage.
Of course, if anybody just wants to jump up, say what's up, shout out to your server, your alliance, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Welcome, Phantom. You're muted.
Mute. No.
I like that name, Funky Monkey. What's up to everybody in the audience? What's up? How you doing? Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. How did everybody's War of Kings go? Did you win? Did you lose? Did you lose a bunch of troops? Spend a bunch of honey? That honey's money.
Our War of Tree was the most boring it's ever been, and we had one person come and contest it for about 20 minutes. And then they got into the zone chat and got really salty about the fact that they did not make any progress. Oh, being the only active clan left on your server. It has its perks. Today I'm going to slay for elephants because there's no one there. Great. Trials, winning in trials because there's no one there. Amazing.
Where did
Out
the
there.
where did they go? Did they migrate out?
Yeah, but my client, we didn't have enough people that could get tokens together, so we decided to wait out this migration. I am really praying that we get the jewels and stuff introduced in between this migration bracket, because if we do, then I'm going to be raking in rewards because there is like 60 active people left on our server. It's going to be amazing. I'm just going to be like rolling in those rewards, and completely unfounded because there's only our clan left on the server, so there's only us in the rankings. It's great.
I was about to say that's pretty awesome. That means everybody's going to get the groundhog skin or elephant skin. Yeah. Friggin' groundhogs, man.
Once we get the next two parts of the enhancement tree unlocked, people will actually be able to get that bear fragment from the first pass store as well, because I don't know if you remember in the first pass store, but there's like certain ones that like you have to get through certain levels to get to it, and it's a lot easier with the jewels because you can like progress through those levels a lot faster with all that extra stuff coming in.
Right.
Yeah. Smooth correction. I know. I felt it was great. But
I just got word. Dun, 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 dun. And we were actually live on YouTube right now as well.
that is a scary thought.
There's plenty worse on YouTube than us, I assure you. Everybody in the audience, check it out. We're doing things a little bit differently this stage as far as the rewards are concerned. In order to qualify for the rewards, you either have to get up on stage and talk to us. I know. Or, say what?
They have to get up there and ask a question.
Well, you got to get up here and ask a question or ask us in live chat.
in the live question channel. You got to ask in there, or you got to ask on the actual stage to go into the into the draw to win rewards this time. You actually have to interact with us.
Hey, what do you call a this is gonna be bad. What do you call a dog with no legs?
A walk.
What do you call a dog with no legs?
A walk. Or is that a fly with no legs?
I know, it doesn't matter what you call him, he ain't coming anyways.
Yes, good point. It's a good point.
Tell us some kangaroo jokes. Do you know any kangaroo jokes?
No, but my favourite dad joke is, how can you tell when a clown's dead?
How?
He smells funny.
That's good. I got some
Yeah,
good dark...
I heard Dove laughing. I heard Dove laughing in the background. Thank you for validating me.
Yeah, she likes dark humor jokes.
I do. I really do.
And it's honestly, that's a good one because it's a pun, it's dark humor, and it's also very, very kid friendly. It covers all boxes.
Oh, I got one. You want to know like the best kid friendly dad joke ever?
Go for it.
What makes a joke a dad joke?
A dad has to say it.
When it's apparent.
Yep.
Oh, you get it? Oh, that's...
Yeah. Oh, I get it. I get it. I am here. I'm here and I'm getting it.
Yeah, it's pretty dry. It's pretty dry, like terrible wine, but it is what it is.
My dad's favorite dad joke is, how much does it cost for a pirate to get his ears pierced?
How much?
Buccaneer.
Tortuga says
I know, how good is
tortoises are
that?
the best.
Tortuga would like everybody to know that tortoises are the best.
Yeah,
And that was...
they are pretty amazing.
Yeah, and that was from the YouTube channel, which is kind of funny. Of course, it is important to note that tortoises are funny looking, and they eat lettuce. Strangely.
I like that you opened with their funny looking. Let's create some controversy.
Hey man, I'm all about some drama. Let's do it. Let's talk about pirating servers. How many pirates are in the audience tonight? Did anybody sail into port? You come here for the winches and mead?
I like a bit of pirating.
I like pirating. Okay, so what would you like to talk about? What would anybody like to talk about? Let's talk about beasts, baby. Let's talk about y'all and me. What's up? Nothing? Nobody? Everybody in the audience know how to read battle reports? That's pretty fun.
That's definitely something we should definitely cover.
Yeah, battle reports
Battle report.
are a great thing.
The fact that there's actually 3 pages and most people only think there's 2. Because they don't know that the little blue bar is actually a whole nother page. Red bar does skills, blue bar does stats.
Okie dokie. So over in live questions, or I'm sorry, not live questions, on live on stage, we're gonna be posting some pictures. Don't judge me, man. Don't judge me. This was a terrible battle report. It's not even anything. However, it does give you something to look at while we're talking about it. So this is your, general battle report that I posted here. So it shows you your Mega Beast, and of course your alphas. In this case, it's only showing 2 alphas. Now, next to it, to the right, it says skill used and skill kills. This is very important. This lets you know which one of your skills triggered or proc, P-R-O-C. PROC, it stands for Program Random Occurrence, right? So it's kind of like, the random chance of a skill proc. Only your combat skills will proc, right? All others are passive. So your combat skills are skill 2, skill 5, and skill 8. If you see in this picture that I posted here, where it says skills used, it says number 2. That means 2 skills procced or triggered. It doesn't tell you any more information about it. It doesn't tell you which one's triggered. It doesn't tell you how many times it triggered. It doesn't tell you any information about that. But the skill kills tells you basically how much damage those 2 procs did. So, in this case, we know skill 2 and skill 5 and skill 8 are the proccing skills. And I only have 2 and 5 unlocked. So it would be safe to assume, either one. Well, I mean, you really can't do it because skill 2 could have procced twice, and that's why it did 19,000 points of damage. Or skill 10 could have procced once. Skill 2 could have procced one, or not 10. Skill 5 and 2 could have procced once each, or skill 5 could have procced twice and did that amount of damage. No skill procs and damage are exactly the same when it comes like PvP and all that stuff. So just because it procced twice, the next time I hit, if it would have procced twice, it could have said, it would say a different number. It just, the details aren't there. Now, if you go down a little bit, you see my giant moose. My giant moose procced twice as well, and it did 37.3 thousand points of damage. Now, the reason why it did more, is because it's maxed out and it has a star on it. But, I mean, aside from that, that's what's up. The majority of your damage is going to come, especially when your alphas start getting maxed out. The majority of your damage is going to come from the alpha skill procs. Knowing how to read one's battle report, knowing how to read one's battle report is vital to actually learning how to play the game PvP style. And it's really good early on, like lower level players that doesn't have, say like one of your alphas and you only have like skill 1 and 2 unlocked. That's great. I love reading those battle reports because in that sense, it gives you a better understanding of like what's going on, and you can train yourself, to kind of figure it out. Depending on the skill, depending on, the skills, what they do, the percentages that they do and everything. It's really awesome. I really enjoy reading, low alpha battle reports. So if you want, grab one of your alphas and just do the, the 2, 5, and 8, and then use it, and you can see what I'm talking about, because those are the only proccing skills.
Exactly. The other thing that people don't realize with their battle reports is that it tells you how many rounds that battle went for. The pages that you can see, the stats that you can see, the skills that you can see, all of this information is only from the round that did the most damage. You might have had 8 rounds. You don't get 8 battle reports. You get 1 battle report with the highest damage that you did on that battle report. So, yeah, it's a weird little setup that they've got. Leon came back. Welcome back to the stage, Leon. Leon?
Got it. Okay, your battle reports, mine are very basic. And you were mentioning about your alphas. I can't seem to unlock skill number 4. It wants like 10 purple creatures, and I've been playing for like 2 months, and the most I've had is 3. How long does it take to get?
The trick is, don't scrap any purple or gold. Don't when you're doing the alpha decay pull and you're getting the purple crystals from them, do not ever touch the purple or gold ones, because they are harder to summon. The essence is more important. If you start throwing that away, then you have situations like this where you can't unlock skill 4 because you don't have enough purple essence.
Right, that's what I've been doing. I haven't touched
Yeah.
or
Only ever, yeah. Only ever exchange the green stuff and the blue stuff. Don't, and only do the blue ones on actual alpha day. Don't do the blue ones on other days, because you need those to unlock skills. The green ones you don't use for anything. Just exchange 3 of those a day to get through your daily skill, like your daily task points and stuff like that. But don't touch those blue ones until alpha day, and do not scrap the purple ones. It is so tempting because you get so much, the same as the gold, but they are so hard to summon. You need those. They are so vital.
Thank you.
Just patience. Patience is the key.
Yeah, and don't don't summon any baits until it's alpha day. That really helps you out too.
Yeah.
So that way you have a good stack collected up, right? So like every alpha day you should have, 40 or 30 or 40, whatever. Yeah.
Only do the daily free one. So don't use anything. My biggest SBS tip for people: server versus server days. Do not use anything, speed ups or anything like that. Your summons, your fancy honey, all of that stuff. Don't touch any of that stuff until it is the same day for SBS. Building day, you use your building speed. Evo day, you use your Evo speed and your creature remains. That is very important. Alpha day, you do all of your alpha things. Mana crystals, summoning, enhancement crystals. All of that stuff happens on alpha day. Training day, that's your training day troops. Tuesday, whatever crazy thing you decided to do for choosing, that's the day you do that. I'd never recommend alpha day, because if you choose alpha day, then there's no colony actions for you to double up your rewards. Sad face.
Yeah, and on your free day, try to not choose gather for your free day. I know a lot of people want to do that because it's super easy, but if you're in an active alliance that does alliance expeditions, it's going to mess up your gather all the time. I mean, you're not going to be able to do much for gather day.
Yeah.
I'm in one alliance that doesn't do anything anymore because it's been beaten down so much by a couple of others. So there's no group activity anymore.
Yep, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a live question from JNR. What's up, JNR? Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Is there going to be a story type thing? You know, how there was the whole dialogue thing between the lion, lord, elephant, lemurs, etc. Like how it was in the story introduction. I wish there was more. Call me crazy, but I kind of saw potential there for telling some story. You know, that's a fantastic question, and unfortunately, what we get in the intro is all we get as far as like a good dialogue, like a good back and forth. However, that is not to say that we don't already have something like that in the mix. In the live questions, I'll go ahead and link you to the channel. We have a couple staff members that write for Beast Official, and they come up with stories and positive, supportive stories and dialogues and such, and you should really check it out. It's from a staff member called Silver Gold. Yep. Well, that's the and where's Silver? Yep, Hard Believer. There we go. So
Yep.
In live questions, we just stab that down. Go check them out. They're pretty good. They're a good read, and it's really fun to do. And if anybody out there, they think that they can write some really cool stories too, please, by all means, apply for the position and get in there and start writing and throwing some text down. That would be cool. And I really did miss that, because that elephant in the beginning is just so adorable and fun and cute. And you're like, oh, I want to feed you like peanuts and kiddie pools full of water because I live in suburbia.
Legend. thinks they're getting their elephant skin today. Because it's elephant day soon. Very, very soon.
Our R5 on our server actually told us to stand down and just do solos. Because he's pushing for other smaller players, you know, that normally wouldn't be on the list. He's pushing for them to get some frags. So I think that's really cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Alliance Mails. Duvessa, you got to read Alliance Mails. There's really important information in Alliance Mails, Duvessa.
Says the one that doesn't read
If people wanted to do something like that for their clan, it's a lot easier late game, don't get me wrong. Because to get the maximum rewards, you need to hit 20 million points. But if you can manage your march so that you're only hitting 20 million points, other people can go above you and get the fragments and rewards, and you already have them. Probably. I'm assuming, otherwise you wouldn't be holding yourself back like that.
Yeah, that's what I liked about the duels. I can't wait till Beast Lord gets the duels. So what the duels are, everybody, is it's kind of like another gameplay mechanic, and you fight your way up. You start out at the bottom of the list, and you just stab your way up, and you go all the way to the top. So when you get to the top, you get first place rewards. But what's really cool about that, and then you get like, you know, if you're in the top 100, you get a whole nother store. It's like a glory store or whatever they're going to call it here when it gets here. And so what's really cool about that is you can set your defenses up when you get to the top, and you just let your alliance members know, like, hey, you know, I don't have anything on defense. So people that wouldn't normally reach the top, they can get that first place rewards. That's really cool too for alliance unities.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why I'm really hoping that it is introduced between the two migrations. So the smaller people in my clan get a nice little fat boost.
If anybody has any questions, please just click that little raise your hand button. Don't be scared. We won't bite. We promise we won't bite. Okay.
Or
Okay.
post a question in live question.
I'm not going to promise that.
Chit-chat.
Yeah, or do that. But to know, in order to get the rewards, you got to either come up on stage and ask a question, or you have to have a question in live questions. We're doing the rewards a little bit differently just to see how it works out, you know. But please, by all means.
On all the situations now.
Mm-hmm. Did it rain there for you?
Me, yeah. It's doing weird stuff in the weather, man. Spring's weird here. Because we're like right at the start of spring. We're like 17 days into spring now.
Right.
And today it's going to be 32, which is like nearly 100 freedom temperatures. Not looking forward to the heat.
Funky Monkey asks in live question, will they ever make scouting reports available to share? And Elsa, have you ever played State of Survival?
No, those ads are so stupid. But also, they probably won't make scouting reports available to share, which is sadness.
You know,
Thanks,
on a side note.
We're kind of just going on tangents and hoping for the best. Honestly, I'm just going on tangents and hoping that you're picking up information along the way because no one's asking questions. So I'm just like, well, let's chase that topic and go down that road.
As a side note about the scouting reports, so let's say you don't have a high level. What is it called? Yeah, falcon habitat. Thank you. Let's say you don't have a high level falcon habitat, right? Or maybe you do, whatever. And you know, and you got somebody, you got a hill or a bomber or something like that. You know, you're trying to figure out what's going on. Let's say you did scout them and you're not high enough level to scout them or whatever, right?
Indeed.
Reggae boy, I'd appreciate it if you would remember the rules of the server. Just because it's stage doesn't necessarily mean, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, alright, so let's say you're trying to scout somebody, you're trying to figure out what's going on in a hill or a bomber or whatever, and you do your own thing, or you do scout and you just don't get really good information about it. What you can do, throw a T1 omnivore in your march, right? Like that's all it is, because it's the fastest little beast there is. So, well, that and T2s, but nonetheless. So you take a T1 or T2 omnivore, you stick it in a march, and you throw it at the hill or a bomber or whatever. Now it's going to come back. The battle report that's going to come back, it's going to be like, hey, you bounced off. Your beast died. It wasn't even tragic. Like, he ran up and our front lines, growled at him and he had a heart attack and died. That's fine. Okay, great. But the battle report shows you how many survived. That survival number is incredibly important, especially when you're doing PvP, right? PvP is, and I'm not talking like bombers, right? I'm talking like hill on hill. I mean, bombers is kind of hard because people can reinforce. People can reinforce hills as well, but that hill battle report is really good. So you send that T1 over there, it dies, it sends you back, hey, there's 147,000 that survived. Oh, really? There's 147,000 that survived. My march has, 212,000. So that would be another tool to determine if that person that you're trying to hit, that hill or whatever you're trying to hit, if it's even viable. If you hit him and it dies and it sends back and it's like 1.5 million survived or something, yeah, something's up. So the more people that reinforce a hill, for example, the more people that reinforce that hill, it will show in the battle port how many survived. So that'll give you a little bit of, understanding on if you want to attack it or not. Scouts are great, don't get me wrong, but even your failed battle reports can be used as a tool to determine who you want to hit.
Yeah. Look, man, I'm not going to lie to you. There is definitely going to be new Mega Beasts coming. When, where, who, what, no idea. But they're going to have paid Mega Beasts. It's just going to happen, the same as we have paid Alphas. And eventually we might have the same thing as what they did with Ants, where they introduced that weird yellow beetle in the purple category. Is it purple that beetle's from?
Yeah.
I can't remember now. But there's every possibility that we're going to end up with more Mega Beasts. Most of them will be paid, though.
Alright, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah,
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm standing. You're right, yeah. I was down from S29. I just jumped in. Don't even know what I'm doing here, to be honest.
Hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The first question that you asked, after reset today, it's elephant herds, not elephant revenge. So elephant herds is when you attack it, elephant revenge is when it comes at you. So today is the day that you can get the elephant fragments for the skin. Elephant revenge, I don't think you can get skin fragments from that. You get other cool stuff, you get beast fangs and stuff.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Much possible getting to top 10 in this server, I'll tell you.
Well, see, this is the beautiful thing about my server, is because it just died. The rewards are going to be so easy. We can't win SVS to save our lives. No SVS rewards, but all the other rewards.
As well, even simple things like the tree, marching to the tree. I started in server 21 and then we bounced to server 29. Not last migration, but the migration before. And it was different, so I ain't even gonna lie. But it's so much better in an active server, so much better growth. But,
oh yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep, definitely. Active server, active clan. The more active your clan is, the better off you are. If you are in a small clan with only a couple of you that are active, you are ruining your own gameplay by staying there. And you might say things like, no, I'm not, because I'm with my friends. Yes, well, you and your friends need to move to a bigger clan, where you're going to get better rewards and more stuff. Because bigger clans get more stuff. All of it, all of the stuff. Not just one or two things, all of the things. You get more of them.
Yeah, that's
active clans will have all 3 alliance shells within the first 2 hours of each SVS day. Some clans are that small that they don't even get the first shell of the alliance rewards. Those alliance rewards for server versus server are super important. If you're not getting them, you need to move somewhere where you are getting them. Take your friend with you.
Yeah, 100%. Nothing will kill a possibly strong active player quicker than a dead alliance. It is what it is. You know, dead alliances, they run into a lot of problems, you know, and it's not necessarily just from like leadership that doesn't have any experience with the game. You know, it's people that really doesn't want to grow themselves. And we understand there's different gameplays, different people want to do different things, but not everybody should be a leader. And you know, Elsa's right. Take your buddies and go to a bigger alliance, a more active alliance, because you need the stuff that comes from it. Those 3 shells, I mean, that helps you out so much. You get so many berries from that, and then you can redeem your berries for advanced berries. And that's, you know, plus 100% to your SVS points. So that in itself is worth it.
The thing where so many people will say things like, I don't want to leave my clan because I enjoy being a leader. It's all well and good to enjoy being a leader, but if you're leading a clan that's not getting any rewards, that's not good for you or the few people that are following you. Be a good leader and go somewhere where you're getting the people that follow you actual proper rewards, actual proper stuff, actual proper growth.
Small Snake in live questions ask, which alphas are best for defense? So when we're talking about defense, we're talking about herbivores all the way, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to need some herbivore. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can throw some unis in there as well, of course, right? But herbivore, as long as the beasts are concerned, are what the defense is all about. It's about the garrison. They're the only beast that has the most default defense. When they come popping out and they're all wiggly, their legs are not acting right, like a brand new deer walking on ice, you know, they don't really know what's up, but if a tree falls on them, they're still good. They're like, hey, what was that? You know, omnivore's not like that. Carnivore's squishy as a marshmallow. So when we're talking about alphas, unfortunately right now there's not many like really good alphas specifically. I mean, we got the horse, right? Everybody has horsies. Everybody's got to have horses.
Come on, pick up the Indian rhino.
That's true. You got the Indian rhino, but I mean, even still, it's good, right? But it definitely needs something else to really help out. Elsa, you have any comments about defensive alphas?
My herbivore situation is controversial because I actually use the horse and I have positive things to say about it, whereas 99% of people that play this game do not have positive things to say about that poor pony. But a good herbivore march is the Indian rhino, the horse, and the elephant, the Indian elephant.
Yes.
The 3 of them together work. It's like the synergy of the moose and the giraffe. The synergy of those 3 together make a absolutely killer herbivore situation. The Indian elephant adds march speed bonuses. The rhino adds all sorts of support, attack, and defense buffs. The horse has actually got weird skill procs that happen if it can keep its people alive for the first couple of rounds. There's a lot going on with those 3 together. Indian rhino, fancy horse, Indian elephant.
Yo, testing 1 2.
What's up? How you doing? Welcome.
Hey, let's talk about herbivores. The best combination I have seen so far has to deal with the reindeer, actually. I agree with the horse and the Indian elephant, but I've got positive things out of using the reindeer itself.
Tell us.
That is the rock band on ants, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend that had very good results with him as well. People always poo-pooed it, and it was like, no way, man. He's a beast.
Yeah, I had a march back on my old server in 26 that actually hit my reindeer while I was using omnivores, and I was actually surprised it nearly doubled compared to just running, carnivores or even straight omnivore alphas. So that's where I would go with. I'd probably put, as far as the lineup go, I'd probably go the horse, the reindeer, and the Indian elephant.
Yeah.
All right, I'm at work, so I can't really stay too long.
Well, hey, do us a favor really quick. If you would, send BunnyBot your game ID so we can get you in there for the rewards.
You'll have to probably DM me how to do that. I'm kind of old for my age, and this is brand new technology for me.
Nah, man, it's all good in the hood. Gravy train on biscuit wheels. BunnyBot will send that DM right through.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Steady.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how do I get out of this thing?
I got you, buddy.
We can drop you back out. It's okay, man. It's okay.
Devin Beavers, what's up? How you doing? And Devin's gone.
Bye.
I didn't mean to scare Devin. I'm sorry. Okay, so we got some live questions. I got one queued up. Joyce asks, any advice on how to deal with pirate players? Firstly, I would like to ask, what are you talking about?
Pirates are just misunderstood.
Yeah, they're like painters that cut off their ears,
Yeah.
We are it just happens. The game, and see, pirates, all right, so to me, there's a difference between pirates and rogues, right?
Amen.
I have been called many things. I have been called rogues. I have been called pirates. I consider myself a freedom fighter. I like to fight against the tyranny of whales that like to dictate how a server's ran. But nonetheless, yeah, you didn't ask about the theology about freedom fighting. So just to answer your question, in order to beat a pirate, you have to think like a pirate. That pirate's there for that booty. And I'm not talking about anything in SFW. Calm down, mods. Booty is like a term for rewards or treasure. Look it up. History. Yeah. So, we're here they're there for that booty. So they want to take your resources. So what do? Well, the players that, look, here's how it really is. If you leave food on your front porch and not take it to the trash can, whose fault is it when animals come up through the night and spread trash around and eat out of your garbage bag? Is it the animal's fault for, getting a quick, easy meal? Or is it the person's fault for leaving the garbage bag on their front porch? So you apply that to the game. If you've got a pretty good, alliance going on, and your members can't figure out how to use a bubble, because not for nothing, guys and gals, but 1 third shell CA equals 1 3-day bubble. That's a fact, Jack, like a flapjack, 100% gobble that up with some syrup. If y'all can't figure out how to use a bubble, man, you got some problems. Now, I'm not saying you got like real life problems, but you got some problems for real. Because the game gives you bubbles all day long. And I don't care how strong somebody is. I don't care how strategically tactful they are. They cannot get past your bubble. So, if you've got a lot of members that aren't popping shields, you're attracting wolves to your hive. They're going to come. So, what can you do? All right, well, the players don't want a bubble. R2 them. If they still don't want a bubble, kick them out of your alliance. Because all they're doing is bringing danger to your alliance. Or if you got, some players and the pirates that are running around, because everybody gets hit, y'all can show your battle reports to see what everybody's got working, right? If it looks like 2 or 3 of your players can defend from, 1 or 2 different pirates, send your strongest marches to reinforce the players without bubbles. But in the end, you shouldn't spend energy or stam on a player that refuses to pop a shield. For real, especially with dangers around, because that one player, you know, an alliance is only as strong as their weakest member. If their weakest member is attracting, you know, the pirates and the wolves to your hive, it's going to continuously happen. So you need to really fix that.
Yeah. Devin, you came back. What was your question? You're muted. Devin. Come back to us, Devin. But also on pirates and rogues. Pirates are after kills or resources. Rogues are there to cause problems. They are there to cause drama and thrive on the drama that they cause. That is the difference between the two people. Pirates just want the resources or the kills. They're there for the numbers or the stuff. Rogues are doing things like zeroing you on gathering day, purposely hitting your tiles. What's that? You don't have any resources? That's fine. I'm going to zero you anyway. That's rogue behavior. Pirate, come in, hit you once, see that you've got nothing. Oh, well, that's a shit. Stop, and then go somewhere else. That's the core difference between the two of them.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a lot of good comments in the chat right now. There are other ways to combat it that, you know, of course, like take your garrison off. You know, don't stack resources in your inventory, like in your depots. Make sure they come from your inventory. In fact, the more everybody can start learning how to play out of your inventory, the safer you're going to be all the way around. The only times you want your depots filled is when you're about to do some major upgrades. If you've got millions of resources sitting and you've got a weak march and you can't like figure out how to use a button, you're going to have a hard, or a bubble, you're going to have a hard gameplay.
Oh yeah. People, if you are being hit constantly and you can't work out why, ungarrison your troops and start using all your resources before you log off.
Facts.
Instead of just letting them all sit there and be juicy and tasty, because I'll visit you.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll feel our pro, and then you'll feel that tickling little sensation from our T1 omnivores sliding their little thin little fingers all up in your depots and just pulling out all that juice. Swear to God, I'm talking about Raiden.
All the good stuff.
I swear I'm talking about Raiden. IBB. Everybody say it in your head. IBB. Ignore, bubble, block.
That's how you deal with rogues.
Yeah, because they want that attention in zone. I forgot the other B. They want that attention in zone. Like me, I loved it. I loved it when you cried in zone. If I smashed you around and I stabbed all your resources and you jumped into zone and you were crying about it, I'll soak up your tears and I'll tell you things like play better, use a shield, set an alarm on your phone. But then when they all block me, I can't really talk my smack anymore, and I'm just like, this sucks.
The funny's gone. Do not feed the trolls. That is what makes them stop doing the things. Once someone is at rogue player territory, they're usually bored of the game, or they're bored of being told what to do. So the more attention that you give them, the worse it's going to get.
IBB. That's a good acronym.
Yeah, IBB is pretty good. Ignore, bubble, block. Ignore, bubble, block. Who got that IBB? I do. All right, we're past our 10-minute warning. We have got 9 minutes left in this awesome stage. We want to thank everybody once again for tuning in. This is the first time being here, so I had a really good time. All the people in the audience, thank you for being here. All the people asking questions, thank y'all for being here.
Stabby should sing his front porch song. You also have
Sunset, do you have a question?
I do. So for the mines, so right now, like I have opened level 6 mine, but I am in server 69 and level 6 mine. It's like all 1, 2, 9, 8, like people that have been around a lot longer than me. Are they planning to open more mine spots at all for people?
It automatically generates more of them the more players that play the game and open up those levels. So I think it starts out at like 50 layers and then eventually it goes up to like 480 layers or something like that. The more players that start getting into the mines, the more players that hit those bosses, the more of those mine layers open up. There's just this weird little patch in the middle oftentimes where it's like a crunch point where you're constantly fighting for the node.
It sucks.
It does, yes, 100% it does.
All right, and then I did have a question in the live chat too. So again, we are a newer server, and it was suggested to us, and like I'm in leadership, so I listen to these things and take everything back to our team. But it was suggested to us that right now we don't focus on using herbivores.
Yes,
we focus on Karn or Omni. And I just want to verify, at what point do you switch and start stopping the Karn or Omni builds and switch to herbivores?
There's no real like rhyme or reason to it with the herbivores. So the way that I did it was I knew that my omnivores were going to be a quick and easy situation. So I focused on carnivores first and then focused on herbivores second and then focused on the omnivores last. To be able to get to your Lord 25 building unlock, you need to have your omnivore training camp level 24 anyway. So getting that up there it makes sense to follow the omnivores because you need to get that building up that high to be able to get to level 25 anyway. So chasing omnivores is important because you're going to need to do those things. Carnivores are good for attacking stuff. They're good for if you want to get the elephant skins and stuff like that. Herbivores, to be able to get the later end towards the T9 part of the evolution tree unlocked, you actually need to have all 4 of your March units maxed out. So that's 100% completed evolution for those 4 March units. That is really hard for a lot of people, and not just free-to-play players. That's hard for a lot of paid-to-pay people as well, because it requires a lot of like specific focus in those evolution trees and ignoring other stuff that you really want to do instead to be able to get that done, to be able to get the T9 herbivores done. That's why people suggest doing it late game, because there is a lot of background stuff with your high-end T9 herbivores that is very resource heavy. To be able to get your herbivore training camp to level 25, you need to have all 3 fruit depots unlocked, and your 3rd one needs to be, I think, level 6 or 7. So the herbivores are very, very resource heavy. That's why people suggest not doing it until late game.
Okay. And then one last question. Dang, I had it, and then you started giving me good stuff that I had to write down. I'll think of it and raise my hand again.
Well,
We're at our 5-minute warning.
Oh,
That's 5-minute warning.
Yeah.
No. You are welcome to DM either myself or Stabby or Bunnybot, and we will happily answer any questions that you have after stage is finished if you have more questions. Do not fear.
absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Before you go, I'd like to point out, though, so when you're coming up, it's always smart. Okay, so the herbivores, they have issues like early, mid-game, right? But like Elsa was saying, you've got to level up your omnivore anyways, right? So let's say you're wanting to go carny. So what you want to do, or what I do specifically, is I'll level up my omnivores to the point, evolution-wise, to where they have the speed and the load, and I'll just use them to do my map grinds, because it's so much faster using them as opposed to, the carnivores, because the carnivores are much slower. So use your omnivores for the map grinds and stuff, and for your rallies and your PvP, use, your carnivores or whatever you want to go towards.
I've been just using the Omni for gathering since I gather so many days out of the week and pre-gather now.
Yeah.
And then been using T2 Omnis because of the load carry.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so the T1s and T2s you already know have a higher load and a higher speed, but when it's combined with the evolutions of such, like in the actual Omnivore evolution, and then the Warzone development has speed as well in there. So don't forget that. Thank you very much.
The March units have speed in there as well.
Yes. And if you would, please send BunnyBot your ID so she can get you all squared away. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening all day.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay. Okie dokie, artichoke. We've got 2 minutes left in this stage, everybody. 2 minutes. Dos minutos. I know that's not how you say it. I don't even... Maybe I shouldn't have said that. It doesn't matter. We got 2 minutes. We got enough time to take one more person, I think. If anybody wants to...
Joyce has asked in the live questions, are Omni T8 stronger than Carnies? Technically, yes and no. The health is what people are using it for there. Because they have such a higher health stat than what the carnivores do, unless you've invested a lot in your muscles and bones health-wise, your omnivores, their health stats are going to see you through a lot of fights that people normally wouldn't make it through if they were fighting same troops. That the health buff and the speed buff of the omnivores makes them seem stronger than the carnivores in a lot of cases, because that combat speed is everything. Health is everything. People discount them so much and have no idea how important they actually are, because they see the attack and the defense and they go straight for those two. But health and combat speed are what make or break a fight.
Facts. Elsa, if you would please send your Discord into live questions. We posted, we're going to post Elsa's Discord, my Discord. If y'all have any questions afterwards, if y'all want to join, we both have very good guides on how to play the game and active chats filled with the players that will help you with any questions that you have.
Indeed. My guides are interactive. Type questions in there and people will come and answer them for you.
Yes.
Same as Stabbies. Stabbies are the same. Go in there and ask questions and people will answer them for you.
We're all
Players
about...
ourselves.
You just need to invite Smooth up. It's ready.
Yeah, we're all about helping players 100%. And it looks like that's our time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, players of all ages. Live stage has ended. Thank you all very much for attending, everybody in live questions, everybody in the audience. And we've got some music about to be playing for everybody to easy listen to while we all exit the stadium. Thanks again. Catch us next week.
Pack up stuff. Enjoy your day / evening.
Is it ready?
Mm-hmm.
Live question shutdown. I agree. real slow.
That was a nice ending. I like those songs for the ending.
I do too.